Hello everybody, welcome to UNDP, United Nations Development Program, and I am Gulalek Volmamedova, just focusing on good governance and economic diversification and inclusive growth across the country. Today we have special guest, Fabian Stächelin. He's from Switzerland and he came for some event in Turkmenistan Today, Fabian, I'm very nice to see you in person because we work with Fabian, I think, in 2020 and 2022. It was very great time to work with you online, but now we see you in person. And can you tell us a bit about your background and why you inspired to create e-traid?
So I spent a lot of time working for eBay, which is sort of the pioneer of e-commerce, started in 1995. So my passion stems, I think, from my studies. I studied in Geneva, international relations, and I was always very passionate about the opportunities that trade can bring to actually countries' economies, but even individual entrepreneurs. And when I joined eBay, this is what I had in my mind. It was like, okay, this new type of commerce, the electronic commerce, can help trade happen globally and create opportunities. And then I worked for eBay for almost 10 years at the headquarters in Switzerland. And there the challenge was that the focus has often been on our markets, the US, Europe, but not so much the markets around those, including Turkmenistan and other smaller markets. And this was my passion. And so together with the senior leadership at eBay, we did a partnership with the International Trade Center in Geneva. And that's how then I created my company, so I could really start to focus more to help sellers in emerging markets, I would say. So I have been doing this work since 5 years with e-traid, helping entrepreneurs, small businesses around the world to connect with global commerce.
And what excites about working with artisans and entrepreneurs in emerging markets?
What is the excitement about it? I think for me, I think I'm mostly excited about the opportunity to give them this international connection, allow them to open new revenue streams, allow them to be able to sell and actually make revenues in US dollars. And it's, you know, what I've seen is it has been helping them expand the business and just, it's creating economic opportunity essentially that I find exciting about it.
Yeah, and I know you started to work with Central Asia in 2020 and
Yes.
what do you think about that? What was the advantage of working with you to work online, and why you started to work in Central Asia?
Yes. So everything started, I have to think back how it worked. I think I have a good connection that I've been working with who told me about the project, and then Filip Stojanovic at the time working for Palladium Consulting, they said that they have a project and they came to me to ask if I could help with digitalization of women, youth, help entrepreneurship with e-commerce. And I had done a couple of projects at the time in other parts of the world. And the reason they were interested in this is, I think the unique quality that I could bring to the project is the experience of small entrepreneurs in countries like Turkmenistan that are a little bit more remote, where it's a little bit harder to trade, to bring in the expertise about how can you manage the payment, how can you manage the logistics, how can you present yourself to the global audience. This is the value that I could bring. And so far we've worked, like we will talk, I'm sure, with a good number of entrepreneurs, and it was a fantastic experience for me.
Yeah, you know that in countries like Turkmenistan, as you said, in Central Asia, we have very rich tradition, and we have a lot of good handmade products and cultural heritage, you know. And we as UNDP, we just recently we conducted in cooperation with British Embassy Creative and Innovative Economy Forum.
Yeah.
We gathered a lot of that international experts in this area from Kyrgyzstan, from Kazakhstan, from Great Britain, and we just it was just a platform where we discuss how we can help our creators to go globally. Yeah, and my question to you that what significant steps our local creators can do to go to through online to sell their products online, to sell their products globally, and to reach that international customers.
Yeah. So first thing I want to say is the unique handicrafts of the region. We see demand for it, and we see on the global markets. So I've been focused very much on the eBay platform. So that represents a lot of US customers and European customers. So from this lens, we see an increase in demand when it comes to unique goods. So there is when I was working for eBay, we were looking at two types of buyers. One was what we called the treasure hunter, looking for unique products, and the other one was the price sensitive. They just want the cheap stuff. So those are the two. But the group of treasure hunters is quite big, and it's growing. And people in the US and Europe care about heritage products. So we have used this opportunity to create these projects on eBay, for example. So what do you need to do to take advantage, right, of the opportunity? Maybe I will say maybe two things. First thing is a little bit about understanding what are the right platforms to promote the products. So for me, I have helped with eBay, but also with Shopify, which is another very good platform for artisans. Etsy is a little bit more difficult. Maybe we can talk about it later. So first you need to understand the platform, understand the demand for your specific product. This is something we have been focusing on a lot. And then the second part is doing the right steps in going online. So from creating the accounts, creating the payment systems, setting up your logistics framework, and then also promoting the products in a way that the global consumers like. So with a lot of detail, with good pictures, like I'm sure you're familiar with. So these are the things that can lead to success.
And what do you propose? Just that we have a lot of types of handmade products in Turkmenistan, and what products tend to perform online, like such platforms such eBay and Etsy and Shopify, as you said. So I know that you worked with our local artisans, and you know that we have a lot of many different handmade products.
Yeah, maybe I focus on two parts. One is the price range that can work for international shipping. The other one is the type of products. Maybe let's start with the price range, because when you do e-commerce, the shipping cost, when you do distance selling, right, selling out of Turkmenistan, then the logistics cost is always a big barrier. So it tends to be the case that any products, let's say below $70, it's difficult to make it happen. Products above, it's more realistic to make it happen with shipping. If you want to sell products that are lower priced, you can do it, but then you need a partner in one of the markets that you target, which something that we have done, where we consolidated products, put it in the target market. So in terms of price range, I think it's more difficult with the cheaper products in terms of the logistics costs. That's the first thing. Second thing I would say is about what kind of products work, what kind don't work. The ones that work, it's always about uniqueness. That's the main thing I will say. Uniqueness. I give you an example. If you want to just sell a rug, rug or just generally, that's likely not gonna work, because you will have a million rugs from Chinese mass production. So that's not something you want to compete in. But if it's a Turkmen rug with a tekke design, and you use these keywords, that has a unique angle to it. Same thing for maybe camel wool. So if you only have a wool product, more difficult. But camel wool, very special product. It's not something that I can go and buy in the shops locally. I'm in Europe. So anything that it will be hard for me to find in a local shop will work well. Anything that's easy for me is not a good idea. So what you should not do is like say t-shirts or bed sheets. Not a good idea if it's mass market, but if you have a specific unique element to it, then it's more likely to work. Storytelling is essential, I think. So it can make the difference of somebody making the choice to buy or not. So it's important, but it's not the first step. I think the first step is to just do a quick demand check. And so I have been using online tools to be able to look at the demand. So for example, in the context of eBay, there is a tool that allows me to see the whole selling history of all the goods sold. It's $100 billion per year in goods. So you can tell me what kind of products do you have, and I can check, okay, does it have potential or not? So we have to be demand driven. It's not like you can put out a product, any product and tell the story and it will sell. No, it has to be a product that has demand. I give you a quick example. We had for example, specifically on eBay, the handbag category is very difficult, handbags. And I worked with a couple of sellers, including I think one or two in Turkmenistan, that asked me, can I sell the handbag, and I can do nice pictures, nice storytelling. And even though I think it's a good product, I go look at the demand and I see that there is no demand. So then I will recommend to not invest any time in it. But if I see that there's good demand, then we do it, and we do it properly with the good pictures, very detailed descriptions, and we tell the story. So we tell the story about the tribes people. We tell the story about how the production process works, and it makes the difference.
And what are common mistakes to avoid this journey?
Yeah. Main common mistake is, I would say, to just start without doing any market analysis. So that's the first thing. You should check the market, see if there is some demand, and then once you commit to it, then do it properly. We have to compete at the same level as the international competition. So when people come to the store, whether they're from Europe, United States, or other markets in the world, they have to see your products, and it has to look world class. And we can do it. It's not difficult to do it. We can use AI tools to help with the descriptions. We can do good photography even with a cell phone. We can use AI to improve the pictures. We can look world class, and that's essential.
Yeah, I think that we just remembered about our working together from 2020
Yes.
to 2021, and that when we started, it was we had some cohort with women and young girls.
Yes.
From rural areas. That they cannot use laptops, and
Okay.
did you remember that?
Yes.
Yeah, and I think we have a lot of challenges. It was pandemic time,
Yeah.
and we had a lot of difficult issues that we just resolved together.
Sure.
It's logistic, payment. And can you share some maybe a success story of these artisans from Turkmenistan who just manage these challenges?
Yes. Maybe I would like to highlight the handmade rugs. I think it's a good example. I worked with one of the artisans. Is a Turkmen rugs producer that I have been working with maybe for 2 or 2.5 years. It was not the first cohort. It was like the second or third. And I just I just met Arslan before. He was also part of the masterclass. We did an interview with him so he could share the lessons. And so what happened with Arslan? So with Arslan, we went through the whole process of creating the eBay account. We created the Pioneer account to receive payments. It was a little bit of a challenge to get it done, but we managed. And actually we managed with 95% of Turkmen sellers we were able to manage. We also opened the eBay account. It was blocked because this is what happens all the time. We managed to resolve it thanks to some of the contacts and the nice, great people at eBay that are still supporting me. And then it was just about getting to this world-class level. And now if you go to the store of Arslan, you can find like handmade carpets on eBay, and you will see he has almost 100 products. He did a fantastic job with the photography. He has some movies for each of the products and a fantastic description. And he has sold carpets for more than $10,000 to, I think, mainly US, Australia, and Germany, I believe. So we would have to ask him. But he sold to several countries around the world.
Yeah, and you know that, as I mentioned, it was. Did you remember that it was very difficult when we work with local artisans from rural area, because they cannot use, as I said, the laptops and other digital tools.
Yes.
And maybe you have some suggestion from what digital tool they can start if they want to go online and globally online.
Okay, you mean if they don't have a laptop?
No, they have their laptop, they have internet access, because it was, you know, that it was 5 years ago. And,
okay.
And now we have this, and what digital tools you propose to use for going globally? Yeah,
you mean in terms of the e-commerce platforms?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Depends on the level and maturity of the company, but the easiest way to start is, I think, what we have been doing. We have gone on the second biggest international platform. It's eBay. This is the easiest, because you can get on the platform as a Turkmen company. You can be an individual entrepreneur or a company. You don't have to have a company registration. So even as an individual entrepreneur, you can go to ebay.com. You can sign up. You can give your details, and you will have an account in 5 minutes. Then you will be asked to sign up with the Pioneer, which is the payment method. So this is what I suggest if you're just starting out. You want to learn the market. There is no cost. No cost. You can start for free. I have a series of videos with Turkmen subtitles. If you want, I share it later. And I have all the step-by-step guide on how you can get on the platform. It's a great way to trial the market. So if you are more advanced, the other big recommendation I have for you is, did you hear of Shopify? Have you heard of it?
Yes, I heard about that, but I cannot. I didn't use it. Yeah.
Yes. So Shopify is like the trending e-commerce platform. So what they built is an infrastructure to help entrepreneurs, small sellers, to create their e-commerce store. So you can have an e-commerce store. Maybe I can show you later the one from Hemdem. So you can have your own presence. You can be hemdemrugs.com. You can be yourbrand.com. It costs about maybe $12 to get your domain. And with Shopify, it powers your whole e-commerce experience. It's very similar to eBay. You can upload your product. You have the order management system. You can integrate with the payments, and you can receive money in Turkmenistan. There's a little more steps that I will not go into detail, but if you are more advanced and there is good demand for your product, this is a strong recommendation I have for entrepreneurs. And what I would not recommend is try to kind of build your own thing, because the technology is there. Like, these are very, very good platforms. eBay it works very well, and Shopify works very well. I don't think there's anything better for international e-commerce.
Good. And what basic skills, like photography, just online payment, they should have the first, just mastering, and to build successful e-commerce presence globally?
Yes. What skills do you need? It's a good question. I would say, so I will come back to the point that we discussed about the generational gap. So I think it's good to have a combination of business skills and understanding of the product, which most cases it's a given, plus some digital skills. And so oftentimes what I see is we have an entrepreneur who might be a middle-aged woman or maybe older, that knows everything about the production process and everything about the craft. And then she might have a son or a daughter that is maybe 20 years old or 25, and she knows very well how to handle digital tools. And that's a perfect combination. If you have those two things, it will be sufficient to go online. You do not need like IT skills or programming, no need, right? You need to read English, and you need to, you need to read English, you need to know the product, and you need to be comfortable and tech savvy, and then you will figure it out.
Good. And you know that, as I said before, and you shared that you work with our local artisans and you see a lot of types of handmade products.
Yes. So the kind of products that I've seen work, again, I will mention the Turkmen rugs. They have a solid demand. We had good experience with felt slippers. Also, anything that is sort of ethnic specific goods, like the camel wool products have been interesting, like camel wool blankets, camel wool socks. I think we sold. That has been interesting. And then if I think about some other markets around, it was interesting in Kazakhstan. There is one seller. She focuses on products like Kurt cheese. We have been exporting Kurt cheese, and the people demand it. Also, like Kazakh chocolate, we have been exporting. And what's also very good is traditional garments. So I said before, don't try to sell like a T-shirt, but you can sell a T-shirt if it's specific and traditional, like a chapan, robes, kimonos, has been working quite well. And then the thing that we have not tried yet, I would love to try it, is traditional instruments. That has it has some restrictions sometimes with exports, but that can be interesting. What is the name of the traditional guitar?
Dutar.
Yes.
Dutar.
Yeah, I would love to try dutar. I think there's good potential. I also saw a seller yesterday at the Turkmen Expo that is doing leather kind of gourds where you can drink out of. I would love to see that kind of product on eBay or on Shopify. This is the kind of product that is very unique, and you will find specific buyer for.
And Fabian, you know that when we worked together with you,
yes,
we just signed up a lot of our artisans. It was about 40 or 50 people.
Yes.
And you know that they just sign up on eBay. They send their products to United States.
Right.
And you know, sometimes when I met with them, they said, "Oh, it's eBay. It doesn't work for us."
Sure. I think I will repeat what I said at the beginning. I think the initial analysis is the most important. Like, we want to sell products that are in demand, and we can always trial different products. Sometimes you have a product that is not yet on eBay, for example, or on other platforms, so you can try it. If it's not yet there, you might be the first one to sell it. I have seen this work before, and it's interesting because you have no competition. But first, the first element is the market reality. We have to accept the market reality, and we have to accept that not all the products will work. That's unfortunately the reality. But once you see that there is an opportunity and you decide that you want to do it, then what I will repeat again, then you should do it properly. And I think there are two ways to promote. One is kind of a free way, and the other one is a way to pay for promotion. So let's start maybe with the free. The free way is what I said before, the good quality imagery, the videos. Videos is a big deal, and a very solid description that really takes into account every detail of the product and the story of the product. So if you do this, you are covered. That's what you can do for free. Then don't only list like one or two products. It's good to give a range, a variety. The more variety, the better. If you are in a niche where you can only have 3 or 4 products and you sell a lot, you are lucky. There are products like this. I work with some sellers, they have these types of products. But usually having a good variety, like Hemdem carpets, they have 100 carpets. That's very important. And then if you want, I can talk a little bit about the paid ones as well. The paid ones is, of course, you need to... So there is organic traffic. People come to platforms like eBay. There's like 140 million people or so. per every year. But sometimes you might want to advertise and go out, right? And for this, what we are doing with also with Arslan Hemdem Carpet. So when we do promotion, we tend to promote his store, not eBay, because the reason we go on eBay is to catch the customers that are already there, so we don't have to promote too much. But when you have your own store, own e-commerce store on Shopify, like with Hemdem, you have to go out and promote. So how do you do it? 3 ways. 1, work with influencers. We have done that. Second, use your social media, and you can do reels of your products, push them onto Instagram, and then you can put advertising money behind it, right? And target to specific groups. And we have some very good local people here that can help with this kind of promotion. And the last one is Google advertising. Just put money on terms like camel wool blanket. You can bid on this term on Google. Anybody that will search Google and types wool blanket or camel blanket, they will see your sponsored content. They can click, they can see your product, and if it's an interesting price, shipping time not too long, then you might get the sale.
Fabian, yes, thank you very much for your inspiring insights and also practical advice. And what do you suggest for people, for local artisans, for creators, just start this journey, and what do they need to do? What's the practical steps for them?
Yeah. So if you want to get launched with it, I will. If you like, I can maybe leave the link to the video series. I have done a video series that is free and accessible. I don't know if this is of use. If it is, I'm very happy to share it. It explains everything, and I will be happy if people are interested to follow the process. I will be happy to be there to help. In some stages, you might get blocked. The account might get blocked. So for this, feel free. We are in contact, so feel free to tell me. So please watch the video series. Check. You can follow the steps, and I think that's basically the next step you can do. Everything is explained there.
Okay, but maybe some that's practical step.
Yes.
You need to start from this and as you said, you need to go to market research. If your product will be in demand on globally, and then what I need to do?
After you finish the market research, basically, yes. Then, yes, if you are a beginner, my advice is, you go to ebay.com, you register an account for free. Then actually this allows you to use the free market research tool. You go there, you research, you put in the keyword for your product, and you will be able to see for free what is the sales volume. Like for Turkmen carpets, we can write Turkmen carpets. We can see for the last 3 years exactly how many Turkmen carpets each month have been sold on eBay in the US, in Germany, in France. So you can do the market analysis. You can have the real data, not like numbers like this, but the real sales data. Do this. This is very important. And yes, when you've decided, then you can you have to go into product photography if you don't already have some. I work with a lot of sellers that are using high quality phones. It works with a high quality phone. Better to have a camera, of course, if you can afford to have a photographer. If you already have professional photography, this is the most important. Like people care just about the product photography. So you need that. You need to be able to describe your products. That is the essential thing. That is the the basis from where to go. And yes, and then be smart about the pricing. Like sometimes I've seen people thinking, oh, okay, now I can get rich. I can like demand a lot of money, high dollar amounts. The reality is, yes, if you have a good product, you can ask for a good amount in US dollars, but be mindful of the cost of delivery and the service that comes with a high price. So those are a couple of things Does that answer the question?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, thank you very much for your advice, and I think thank you very much for coming and sharing your experience. I think it was very useful for our listeners today, and see you again in Turkmenistan.
Thank you, Gulalek. It was a pleasure being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.